Any more gadget or that's it?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, okay. Good morning, everyone. I am Sankano, Deputy Government Spokesperson, deputizing the Gambia Government Spokesperson and Presidential Diaspora Advisor. Welcome to this edition of the Gambia Government press release. I would like to acknowledge the presence of the Honorable Minister of Information, Dr. Ismaila Cisse, Permanent Secretary, Ms. Amin Jai, Director of Information Services, and all guests arrived. Before we proceed, I would like us to start with prayers in our individual ways. Thank you very much. As the outline of today's program, we'll start with the Honorable Minister of Information, who will give us a roundup update on the government's activities since the last press release, what has taken place on the side of the government, both at home and abroad. That will be followed by presentation from our colleagues from the Medicine Control Agency. There will be question and answer breaks, and then our brothers and sisters from the Gambia Tourism Board will have the floor. The press conference will go until 11:30, but by 11:15 we should be done. The remaining 15 minutes will be used for closing remarks. As usual, it's a family gathering between the government and the media. Let us exercise some decorum considerations. You are free to ask questions, but don't abuse that privilege. Give chance to others. Supplementary questions will be allowed. And let's focus on the topic of the day. We are talking about Medicine Control Agency and the tourism. So if there's anything along the line, then the ministerial discretion will elaborate on that one. Without wasting time, Honorable Minister, the floor is yours.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the press. We welcome you once again to our monthly press conference. I'd like to first of all welcome the agencies that we invited today, and we thank them profusely for accepting our invitation. The Medicines Control Agency, under the leadership of Mr. Marian and his team, are here today to update Gambians about their work. We all realize how our society becomes complex. There's a need. Now, the work of the agency is expanded, and recently we've seen them taking very proactive measures. It is either we bring them to face the Gambian people, to discuss with them what they are doing and the challenges they are facing, and what are their expectations from the public, or what are the public's expectations from them. We all know that the Gambia has two seasons. Whenever we say season be start now, we know it means the tourism season is about to start. I think the first flight is coming this week. It is also therefore important that we invite the Gambia Tourism Board to come and update Gambians about their preparations for this season. We are looking forward to a very, very successful season, so they are here to update us as well. I also extend greetings to the PS, Ministry of Information. She's here today, the Director of the Department of Information Services, and also special thanks to our media partners who are here today covering this event live. And also obviously to the Chair representing the Spokesperson's Office. As our mandate is to give information to the public, but also take information from the public to the government. And I think the media acts as a conduit to this. That is why we see the media as critical partners of the ministry. Now, one of the things that we try to do is what we call proactive disclosure of information. We don't want, even though there is an ATI Act, which gives the privilege and the opportunity to citizens to request for information if they so wish from the public, as long as that information is not classified. We are duty bound by law to provide that information. But however, we also have a mandate to ensure that we give the public timely, authentic, relevant information. So therefore, this is why we organize this press conference, but also the Mansakunda, where the public officials have an opportunity to interface with the public so that the public can ask critical questions about how the country is governed. So therefore, this is one of the reasons why we organize this press conference as our drive for proactive disclosure. Now, going back to the updates from government, the first update is from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, which has been closely monitoring the situation in the Middle East, particularly in Lebanon. And therefore, because of the critical nature of the situation in Lebanon, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has initiated a process to immediately evacuate all Gambians that are living in Lebanon. As such, they've provided contact details for Gambians who are living in Lebanon to call those numbers and get registered so that they can put plans in place to evacuate them from Lebanon, because we all know that the situation is escalating in that particular part of the world. So Gambians living in Lebanon are all to call those numbers. If you don't have those numbers, I don't have them here, but if you go to the Ministry of Information's Facebook page or the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, you'll get those numbers to call so that we can get registered, because plans are afoot to evacuate Gambians who are living in Lebanon as the situation escalates there. The second update is from the Ministry of Local Government and Lands. The release says that the ministry has suspended all development activities within the ecologically critical wetlands area in Cape Point. That despite prior warnings issued in May 2024, unauthorized development continued to threaten the area's sustainability. Now, a task force, according to the ministry, has been established to investigate these violations and ensure compliance with environmental regulations. The ministry warns that failure to cease unauthorized activities will result in severe penalties, including legal action and removing of illegal constructions. That release is from the Ministry of Lands. The third update is from the Ministry of Youth and Sports. And it says that the ministry has approved $12 million as a contribution to the Gambia Football Federation for the national team's upcoming AFCON 2025 qualification matches against Madagascar. The funding will cover flight tickets, accommodation and match bonuses for games scheduled for 11th and 14th of October 2024, and it will take place in Morocco. The government extends best wishes to the Scorpions in these matches, and the Ministry of Information also extends best wishes to the Scorpions, and we hope that we will win these two games. The fourth press release is from the Office of the President. The President, His Excellency Adama Barrow, bid farewell to 80 economic officers at a ceremony held at the State House. The President expressed his gratitude to ECOWAS and Senegal for their support in safeguarding the Gambia's democracy and thanked the officers for their service. Certificates of appreciation were also presented to mark the end of their mission in the Gambia. The fifth press release is from MOPSI, the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education. The ministry will distribute textbooks to senior secondary students across the country. The textbooks, authored by Gambian writers, reflect the local context, and the aim is to enhance the quality of education in this country. The initiative is part of the government's commitment to improve education service delivery. The good thing is that these textbooks are home content. For the first time in our history, we have textbooks that are written by Gambians, reflecting our history, our geography, our societal norms, our tradition, and our culture. And the final update is from the from the First Lady's Office, Scholarship for Top Female Students, that the Office of the First Lady, Her Excellency Madam Fatoumata Barrow, has awarded scholarships to the top 10 female students of the 2024 WAS. The ceremony held at the State House honored the academic achievements of these outstanding young female students, with the aim of encouraging excellence among young girls in the Gambia. Now, these are the updates from the Ministry of Information, from the Government of the Republic of the Gambia. We look forward to presentations from the Medicine Control Agency, after which we'll open the floor for Q&A. Then we'll have the Gambia Tourism Board to also do their presentation briefly and Q&A sessions. We're looking forward to very constructive dialogue with the media today, and we hope that tomorrow we will again control the narrative and ensure that the public is aware of what both agencies are doing. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister, for that elaborate roundup of government activities for the past 30 days. I would like to proceed to the presentation of the Medicine Control Agency, which will be led by the Executive Director, Dr. Issa Marina. Before he comes on the floor, I would like to acknowledge the presence of his capable team, We have Madam Fatunjai C, Director of Clinical Trials and Pharmacovigilance. I hope I got it right. And Maria Masima, Director of Evaluation and Registration. Madam Tida Jallo, Director of Operations. And Mr. Babuka. Huh? Tida, sorry. Okay, Tijan Jallo, Director of Operations. And Mr. Balde. Thank you all, Director. Secretary Director, please, the floor.
Assalamu alaikum. Good morning to you all. The Honorable Minister of Information, ladies and gentlemen, the press, I wish to thank the Minister of Information for giving MCA this opportunity to be present here today to share some information with the public regarding our mandate, our functions, and our activities. So I would first of all wish to start with a short overview of MCA. Medicines Control Agency of the Gambia was established by an Act of Parliament in 2015. May 2015, the Act of Parliament that established the agency is called the Medicines and Related Products Act 2014. So this act has mandated the agency to control and regulate the manufacture, the export, import, distribution, use and advertisement of medicines and related products. So in terms of medicines, I know there are so many controversies because recently we even have a case in court where we found some products illegally imported and selling them. She contested those are not medicines. So we want to explain what medicines cover to the general public. For medicines, we have different types of medicines. We have the conventional, also called orthodox medicines or allopathic medicines. So you can call it conventional, orthodox, or allopathic medicines. These are the paracetamols, amoxicillins, etc., etc. We also have what we call herbal medicines. So the herbal medicines that we regulate are finished herbal products. We don't regulate the raw ones like the leaves, the stems, barks. We don't regulate those ones. It's the finished herbal products. Also, another category of medicines are the nutritional supplements or the dietary supplements. So these are also medicines regulated by MCA. We have the veterinary medicines that are also regulated by MCA. And the last but not the least is the homeopathic medicines. So these are the range of medicines that are regulated by MCA as supported by our Act. So for the related products, people also have to know these related products. They include mainly medical devices. When you say medical devices, it's a very big family. We have the equipment, any equipment that is used in the provision of medical services or health delivery is considered a medical device under our law. Also, for the medical devices, you have the diagnostic agents. So all diagnostic agents of all types also fall under our mandate. We also have other forms of medical devices, such as toothbrushes. It'd be interesting to know about MCA regulates toothbrushes. In fact, we have registered some toothbrushes from GSK, Sensodyne toothbrushes, and others. So the other related products are the cosmetics. Very big class. We have lotions, we have creams, we have ointments, all different dosage forms of the cosmetics. We have soap, also is part of cosmetics, not solo. I think we made a press release on Dove cream soap that was found to contaminate some harmful chemical agents. Also under the cosmetics, We have the mouthwashes. Mouthwashes are also cosmetics, toothpaste. These are all supposed to be regulated by MCA. And we are trying to strengthen our capacity bit by bit. Surely within a short period of time, we should be able to fully enforce the regulation of all these products as we are going. So those are the range of products that are regulated by MCA. One other additional one is the household chemicals. We also have the household chemicals. So this household chemical, there is a bit of overlap with the National Environment Agency, but we are trying to concentrate a bit more on things that have some anti-infective properties like Dettol. You have Dettol and the other detergents that are used at the household level. So chlorine tablets, chlorine solutions. So these are some of the household chemicals. So for others, insecticides and other things, we try to leave those things to the National Environment Agency. And for MCA, the regulatory functions we have, there are many. But I just mentioned few very key important regulatory functions at the moment that we undertake. One is licensing, and the type of license we give out importation license to people who want to import medicines or the related products into this country. So we also have license for manufacturers. So anybody who wants to manufacture any of these related products in the Gambia, you're supposed to have a license from the Medicines Control Agency. We also license warehouses or storage facilities, because we want to make sure where these products are stored, they are at the right temperatures. Currently, I could say there are challenges in terms of most of the people who are storing these products to store them under the right temperatures and the right humidity. We know the country is quite hot, especially at this time of the year. Also, the place is very humid. You see humidity of above 70% all the time, temperatures high. And for medicines, they're supposed to be stored on a temperature of 25 degrees Celsius and humidity of not more than 40%. And so these are the issues. If you don't keep products under these specified temperatures and humidity, you expect the products to degrade or to go bad at certain point in time, even though the products are not expired and not so long. We send out a press release of 2 products, salbutamol solution and one anti-malarial tablet called Plasmodial. These 2 products, when they are coming to the country, they were good products. They were imported in 2022. We are using them. But along the line, they start going bad. They start changing color, especially the solution. The first report our inspectors speak was around Basse. So when we got that signal from Basse, then all our inspectors around the country were informed to check all the other drugstores, and CRR2, they were able to pick some. So we have seen the same batch in the combos here. Some of the bottles have not gone bad, but for medicines, the moment 1 or 2 goes bad, you try to contain the whole batch, quarantine the whole batch, and stop people from using them. So the other critical function of MCA are the inspections. So we try to have inspectorates across the country, and this year we try to appoint also inspectors for the airport seaport. We are not covering the airport seaport, but the seaport office we opened there definitely is very critical an airport, because we are intercepting a lot of things that we are coming into the country without our notice. So we are able to appoint some people. Thanks to the government, they were able to support us to recruit more people in 2024. And for the first time, we posted people across the country, every region. URR South, URR North, we have inspectors. Sierra, North, South, so across the entire regions. And also we are able to post people at the airport, seaport as permanent postings at those places. So they are carrying out inspections of all the products in those regions, in the licensing premises, at illegal places. We have seen not so long we've been able to arrest some illegal medicine dealers, and even 2 of them just recently got convicted in a court at Carnifing Magistrate Court, where they were convicted 1 year mandatory jail term, and also to pay $250,000 in addition. So in default, to go for 2 more years imprisonment. So this was a very powerful message to the public. People should stop involving illegal medicine businesses because this could be very dangerous for the safety of the population. Because most of the places they conduct these businesses, they don't observe the temperatures or the humidity. They put them anywhere they keep them. So our inspectors are doing a tremendous job at the moment around the whole country. So we also try to do port of entry inspection because we have inspectors at all border points. At the moment, by law, only airport, seaport, and the 4 border posts are allowed for people to bring in any product that is regulated by MCA. You have Amdalai Port, it's a legal, Amdalai border, it's a legal border. Ker Ayub in Farafenye is a legal one. You have Sabi and Jiboro. Any other border or port of entry you bring in products is illegal. Your products could be seized and could be confiscated. You could also be prosecuted for that because it's seen to be illegal importation. Even if you have a license to import, but the moment you bring products through illegal route, it's illegal. So you're supposed to only bring in products through approved route. So these are important things. We just briefly want to mention we also have post-market surveillance activities. Post-marketing surveillance is all about monitoring the quality of the products whilst they are put on the market. As we know, they could be very good quality, but with time, due to storage conditions and other things, they could go bad. We also have pharmacovigilance, a big terminology, but it simply means safety monitoring. So we also monitor safety of products while they are on the market. So that's why healthcare workers, public, the patients, anybody, you could report to MCA if you take any medication, you happen to have any side effect or adverse drug reaction, you should report. You are encouraged to report to MCA. We have a toll-free number that you can use, or you can use MCA info email on our website to send any message. Our toll-free is very active. You can call it. So last but not the least, we have clinical trials. We will not go that much detail into that, but we have clinical trial oversight where we do approval for all clinical trials, and also we monitor all clinical trials in this country. So we have the power also to suspend, to terminate, or cancel any clinical trials, or we can reject the findings of that particular study if we find out that the studies, there are some lapses here and there. So the last but not the least is the quality control testing. It's one of the functions of MCA, but as we know, the government is doing its best at the Bruce B. Tone table to establish a national lab. This lab, by law, supposed to be an independent lab, independent of MCA. The act that establishes MCA is supposed to also establish this lab. So MCA would serve as a client to that lab. So that is based on the law. But currently, what we do, all products that are being imported into the country, We have contracted accredited labs in most of these countries where pre-shipment testing is done. They collect samples on behalf of MCA, these labs, then test the products. Before the products get to the Gambia, we get the test results so that the products, when they come, they will not be quarantined for long to be shipped again for testing that the private sector has been crying about. So what we've done in China, we've got accredited lab there, independent accredited lab with their staff that goes, anybody who wants to import or export anything to the Gambia, you must contact them, register with them, and they will collect samples before they give you a green light to ship your products to the Gambia. If you don't pass through them, you import your products to the Gambia. When they come, we have to put them under quarantine. We give you administrative fine and send those products for testing. If it takes 3 months, 4 months, that one is not the fault of MCA, so you have to wait for the results to come. So I think, in short, that's what I want to say for sake of time. So I'm not sure if we still have some time in case any of my directors want to add something.
Okay, during quick question and answer, so there might be some technical questions.
Okay. Okay, the toll-free number is 1233. At the moment, it's only available through QCell. So, but we are working on other GSM lines also. Thank you. Okay. And we have a very proactive communication and advocacy officer, Alajim. By any time you call, you pick up the line and can connect you to any other person who is supposed to give the relevant information. Thank you.
Yeah, and the mics are working. Director Simon.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Honorable Minister, ladies and gentlemen and the press. I'm Tijan Jallo, the Director of Operation. And as we hear operation, it involves a lot. He already made my work very easy by mentioning most of the things that I oversee under that directorate, which include post-market surveillance, quality control testing, import and export permit, inspection, enforcement, and to add to that, I'm the substandard and falsified medicines focal point person for the country. So the directorate, whatever we are doing, we are not working based on our discretion. As he clearly mentioned, MCA was established by Act of Parliament on the 26th of December 2014 by the Medicines and Related Product Act. We also have the Medicines and Related Product Regulation 2020. So whatever we are doing in those legislations, we need to ensure that it is in line with both regional and international standards. No one is working based on their discretion. And of course, the regulatory body, its key mandate is to ascertain every medical product. Medical product is a broad word, which include both medical devices, herbal medicines, orthodox medicine that he already explained, and also related product, which include the cosmetics, to ensure that if they are coming into the country legally, it is of high quality, safe, and also efficacious. Of course, we know like our borders are porous. That's why we deem it is a necessity for us to deploy full-time regional inspectors across the length and breadth of the country so that we will polish up our mandate to ensure that we will do the work effectively and efficiently. As we can all attest, not everyone will take certain kinds of hard drug, like kush, or weed or cocaine. But for medicines, as far as you are alive, the moment you are sick, you must take it. But what we are advocating in the country is, we know MCA being the experts and the regulatory body trying to control the quality and safety of medicines. If we want to go fast, we'll walk alone. But if we really want to achieve the mission and the vision of the institution, which is geared towards safeguarding the general public, we have to collaborate. As we know, medicines will not bring themselves. People must bring them. So we are collaborating with also immigration officers. We know goods, whenever they get to any border, we have GRA officers there. So we are collaborating with them. When it comes to enforcement, we are collaborating with police. The list continues. So I will stop here. Maybe when it comes to the question and answers, we allude more on the technical part. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay. Before going to question, I'd like to give a chance to the...
Yeah, good morning, everyone. My name is Maria Masima, Director of Evaluation and Registration and Medicines Control Agency. Well, we thank everyone for giving us this opportunity today to highlight some of our regulatory functions to the country. My director has forgotten about my directorate, that is Directorate of Evaluation and Registration. As we know that MCA is mandated to ensure the safety, quality, and efficacy of medicines or related products that are brought into the country for the safe use of those medicines to the general populations. And this safety and quality and efficacy of these drugs cannot be ascertained without registering the drugs. Directorate of Evaluation and Registrations, our main function is to evaluate and register medicinal products and related products. Like my colleague has said, when you talk about related products, is nutritional supplement, related products, we have cosmetics, we have herbal medicines, we have household chemicals, we have medical devices that includes in vitro diagnostic, medical equipments. They are all under related products. So Medicines Control Agency have the mandate to register and evaluate such products into the country. When you talked about registration, it's just simply it's a system where a medicinal product is reviewed pre-market, you evaluate the product. How do you evaluate the product? There is a document called the dossier, which is a common technical document which the manufacturer needs to submit to the regulatory agency to evaluate that drug. So this dossier contains all the vital information from the manufacturing of the product till the end use, the storage, the in-process controls, the specifications that are used, the quality of the medicines, reference standards. They are all established in this document. And under my directorate, what we do, the evaluators will take this document, review it, evaluate all those informations to make sure whether they have met quality standards. Because if you are to register a product, it has to meet international standard. The standard that Gambia is using is the same standard in Senegal, Nigeria, or other countries. So it has to be international. So there is something that is uniform throughout. So when you evaluate this dossier, what we do is we either issue certificate of registration or we denied, depending on the information or depending on what we have And some of other requirements also that the applicants need to submit samples for registrations. So these samples are used to ascertain the labeling requirement of the product. As our regulations, 2020 and our Act has already stated that all medicines that are imported into the country, sold or used or distributed, should be registered. If they are not registered, it means they are substandard medicines. And our mandate in MCA is to make sure that the Gambian population got access to quality, safety, and efficacy medicines. So we will make sure that these products are evaluated, they are registered, but registration process doesn't only involve evaluations of the dossier. It involves other categories like GMP inspection, that is good manufacturing practice inspection, where the inspectors will go to the manufacturing site to inspect the place where they manufacture the product. They have to look at the standards they use, the equipments, what are the processes that they have to go through. So we have a team in MCA that goes to different countries for GMP inspection. So that is part of registration. Also, a product cannot be registered without ascertaining the quality control of that product. It has to go through quality control testing to ascertain that the medicine is of quality. So these are the different mandates that we have under registration. And there is another form of registration which there was an amendment last year, October, Section 26 of the Medicines and Related Products Act that talks about registration. His Excellency, the President of the Gambia, has assented and signed that part of the Act, that's Section 26. And it is an amendment that the agency may use other mechanisms than registration to bring or import drugs into the country. But these products need to be manufactured in countries with stringent regulatory authorities, that is, countries which have competent regulatory authorities, like they have met the quality and the risks associated with those products is very limited. So these products from these countries will be listed. And it doesn't necessarily mean that when products are listed, they don't have to go through other rigorous regulatory evaluations, because we already established that these are WHO-identified countries with stringent regulatory authorities. They have gone through quality control, and their manufacturing processes are very excellent. And for that being the case, an applicant can import a drug into the country or a related product into the country, provided it's manufactured in that country which has a stringent regulatory authority. The list of stringent regulatory authorities is available on our website. Most of the European countries, Japan, United States of America, they are all countries with stringent regulatory authorities. So medicines from those countries, we can allow them that they can go through listing. There is a form that you have to fill that has to be submitted to the agency. So if it is approved, then the listing is valid for only 1 year. Likewise, in registration, when approval is given, that the marketing authorization, it has to go for 5 years, because it has to go for 5 years, and at the end of the 5 years, the applicant or the manufacturer has a choice to renew the registration. Thank you very much.
Raise an alarm. Oh, okay, so that's the thing. So I just observed that people are sweating, others are dozing off. So Okay, Director Njai C.
Good morning to you all. My name is Fatim Jaisi. I'm the Director of Clinical Trials and Pharmacovigilance at the Medicines Control Agency. I'll give you a brief summary of the activities we do at the Clinical Trials and Pharmacovigilance Directorate. So we have the legal mandate, which requires the function of clinical trials and pharmacovigilance. That's the Medicines and Related Products Regulation and the Act 2014. It's important to state that before any clinical trial is conducted in the Gambia, the applicant must obtain a favorable opinion from a nationally established health research institution and approval from the Medicines Control Agency. Clinical trial in the Gambia cannot be conducted without approval from these two institutions. So we also conduct assessment of all clinical trial applications submitted to the agency from research institutions in the Gambia in accordance with approved guidelines and protocols. If all the requirements for the conduct of a clinical trial is satisfied, the MCA issues an authorization letter to the applicant within 21 working days, within 15 working days. Under certain circumstances, MCA may accept an expedited review process for clinical trials, for example, in case of emergency situations like epidemics and pandemics or other public health interests that requires fast utilization of medicines or related products, or for fast gathering of information on products. So in this case, we conduct expedited review, which usually takes 21 working days, and approval is granted within 3 working days. According to the Medicines and Related Product Act 2014, Section 44, states that the MCA has the powers to either suspend or withdraw a clinical trial authorization if the agency is, if the safety of the trial subject is compromised, or if the scientific reasons for conducting the trial is not credible. In that case, sometimes changes can also happen to an ongoing clinical trial, example, modifications or amendments of clinical trials. So in this case, an application for amendment of the trial is submitted to Medicines Control Agency. We review the application, and approval is either granted or rejected. We do review of applications for importation of investigation and medicinal products for use in a clinical trial. If a medicine or related product needs to be imported for use in a clinical trial, an application is made to the agency. We review the application and grant approval or reject the approval. But the import authorization is only issued to the applicant if the clinical trial is approved. If a clinical trial is not approved, we usually don't grant any import permit of the investigation and medicinal product. We also conduct good clinical practice inspection at the clinical trial sites in the Gambia. This purpose of this inspection is to ensure that the trials are scientifically and ethically sound. It is also conducted to ensure that the trials in the Gambia are conducted in accordance with principles and guidelines of the ICHGCP, and also to ensure the rights and safety of a participant is protected. In all phases of a clinical trial, from phase 1 to 4, we conduct the GCP inspection, and also our directorate prepare guidelines for authorization of clinical trials in humans and other application forms which are readily available on our website. So I'll talk about the pharmacovigilance activities at the Medicines Control Agency. Again, we have the legal provision which mandates MCA to establish a functional pharmacovigilance system. We have the National Pharmacovigilance Unit, which is based at the Medicines Control Agency, and it's the core of the pharmacovigilance system, which is responsible for monitoring safety of medicines and safety reports. We also receive and process all adverse drug reaction reports and work closely with the Medicine Safety Expert Committee. This is a committee we successfully established for the first time in June 2024, a multidisciplinary committee that reviews and evaluates all the safety reports and provide technical expertise and evaluate safety reports and makes recommendations to Medicines Control Agency in the area of clinical trials and pharmacovigilance. The committee also performs causality assessment. Each National Pharmacovigilance Center is required to set up and run a functional and efficient system to collect reports and conduct causality assessment. In this regard, the Medicines Control Agency developed and maintained a national database where all the safety reports received from healthcare professionals are uploaded into the database by the national focal person at MCA. We also provide training of healthcare professionals. We have successfully trained 60 healthcare professionals from all the 7 regions in this country, including hospitals and private clinics, on pharmacovigilance, just to improve on the patient reporting. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Director.
We should advance now. It should be motion sensor. And thank you, Director, for that elaborate explanation of the clinical trial and pharmacovigilance ecosystem. Very impressive. Director, Dr. Marina, thank you and your team. You did a wonderful job. We've learned a lot today. And then the floor is open for a few questions. Time is against us. Like I said, the weather condition here, it's because of the AC, it's favorable, so no need to keep us waiting. Before we move into the tourism board, here are some few questions for the MCA team. Yes. Name and media organization, please.
Good morning. My name is Senke Ture from the Point newspaper. We have seen various businesses, business personnel selling drugs in their, in their shops, and also some are believed to be unregistered. Now it's on, huh? You guys? Okay. Thank you. So, which I believe not to be registered. And rumors has it that these are selective, you guys are being selective in seizing other people's products and leaving others who are not registered. What is your take on that? My other question is, you have mentioned of your critical training oversight and quality among others. How effective is this? Because most people don't know about this, and this is new to some of us here. And also, you made mention of issuing license. So how do you issue this license? And are there limitations in the production of these products that are brought in the country? Thank you.
For organizationals, and one question per person, and after, then we can have follow-up questions at the end. Time is against us, one question per person. You can answer that one, and then we have 2 more, then we move to GT board, then after we'll have an overall, yeah. Let the director answer the first question. And thank you.
Thank you so much for your questions. If I could recall, one of them was MCA targeting some, and the others are being left to operate. Yeah, actually, this could be people's own beliefs, which MCA don't have control over what people think. But MCA as an agency, we try to operate on a level playing field. And one thing we also have to know, MCA does not have the capacity at the moment to effectively cover everywhere at the same time. So we have to go to different places at different times. So today may be someone, and tomorrow may be another person. But what we are saying, like in the Gambia, most of the time people want their own personal experience. They won't try to do the right thing because MCA has caught one or two, they will be there operating illegally till MCA gets to them. They say, oh, we are not aware, we don't know. But since Aki, MCA, I think, has come to limelight. Everyone knows about MCA. So definitely, if anyone is interested in regularizing your businesses, you should be able to go out and find out what laws are in place for this business I want to venture in. So, but we cannot see everybody at the same time, but for sure, if you are not caught today, you may be caught tomorrow. So the other question was issuing of licenses. The way we issue licenses, as I said, there are different licenses with different requirements. The guidelines are on our website on every type of license that we issue. So please, if you want to get the details, they are on our website. Yeah, that's the third question. Limitation on the products. Like MCA, the moment your product meets the legal requirements to be imported, it's left to you, the business person. The quantity you want to bring is not dictated by MCA. The price on the market is not dictated by MCA. So that one, MCA don't have any control over that. As long as your product, we are satisfied, has met the requirements for import, we don't have any restrictions on the quantity. The only one that there are restrictions on, are the controlled medicines. That needs to be clear, because these are potential drugs of abuse. Those are the only ones we control the quantities. And why? Because Gambia as a country itself, there is a limit. We have a quota that we can import in a year into this country by International Narcotic Control Board. So that one we have to put control over it. Yeah.
I am Binta Esba from Musa Mola's Online TV. The first question I want to ask, as you elaborated before, the Medicines and Related Act 2014 established the Medicine Control Agency with the mandate to regulate and control the manufacture, importation, exportation, distribution, use, control of advertisement and promotion of medicines, include orthodox medicine, herbal medicine, and nutritional supplements. And it was says the core functions of the agency include inspection, registration, licensing, pharmacovigilance, quality control, testing, clinical trials, oversight, and post-market surveillance. So I want to know, are you guys scrutinizing this annually, or it is a law that is permanent for everybody? And the last question is, medical agency, it is a business profit or it's not a business profit? And the agency is operating through a directory, and these directories are demarcated into categories. So the directorate are the Directory of Clinical Trials and the Pharmacovigilance, the Directory of Evaluation and Registration, the Directory of Operation. I want you to elaborate that more. Thank you.
So the first question, as I said, those functions are ongoing functions. It's not annual or it's not time-based. They are ongoing functions, like registration of products is ongoing. Anytime there is application, we have to act on it. Licensing, anytime there is application, we have to act on it. Inspections is an ongoing, it's an everyday activity. Let me tell you, our inspectors don't have time to work. From 8 to 4, that is every day, but after work, they have evening inspections. We have unannounced evening inspections and night inspections and weekends. So these activities are ongoing. These functions cannot be annual or be periodic. Okay.
I'm here. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you very much. My name is Ali Sise from QTV Gambia. My question has to do with the issue of traditional and herbal medicine. I mean, you mentioned what you do in terms of ensuring and regulating the conventional medicines. I would like to know, to what extent can you regulate, the traditional and herbal medicines? I mean, you often hear adverts on radio stations, and how do you regulate?
Yes.
So,
I think She has a question about whether MCA is
no, MCA is a private, it's a public enterprise, though it's autonomous by law. We have a governing board, though our reporting, in terms of reporting to government, is Minister of Health. Our board reports to Minister of Health, and I also report to the Honorable Minister of Health. About the herbal. Yes, so as I said, MCA does not regulate traditional medicine. Traditional medicine is a practice. So herbal medicines, those are products. And the herbal medicines that we regulate, these are finished herbal products. We don't regulate herbs themselves. So herbs are the raw ones. These are the leaves, bark of the tree, roots of the tree, flowers. We don't regulate those ones. But if you process any part of a plant into a medicinal product, you have added other substances to it, you've got your own formulation, you have packaged it, you have labeled it, you have attached claims to those products. They could cure this or that. So you need to authenticate your claims through various means as required by the law. That's when the registration of those products come in. But the leaves at the Serekunda market for sale or the herbs, we don't regulate those ones. Okay? Under the practice, there is a unit under Ministry of Health for traditional medicines practice that controls the practice. And you go to the air, you realize that MCA some time back had issues with most of them, even prosecuted some of them. What they are doing now, most of the time, they don't advertise products now. They advertise their practice, and knowing that MCA doesn't have mandate over practice. So that's the direction they go, and under Ministry of Health too, the unit, somehow they don't have the legal powers or whatever to be able to really regulate them, but I think they are trying to look at the laws, so all this will come into play where there will be clear-cut provisions to be able to control this practice. But the Minister of Health is working hard on that, and already they've got an established unit to control the practice.
So, thank you so much. My name is Tabora Bojan, Standard Newspaper. The Director of Evaluation and Registration, she mentioned the process that you take in evaluating products. And you said manufacturers would send you a list that you will go through review before you approve. So I want to know, in that process of evaluation, how do you evaluate? Do you just evaluate it on the document, or do you have a lab? Do you have the scientific equipment that enable you to vet these medicines before you evaluate them? So the second question is, you mentioned that you have investigators that goes to countries to inspect manufacturing sites. So I want to ask, just for this year, from January to date, how many countries have you gone to? And have you ever went to a country where you inspect a manufacturing site and you don't find them to have meet all your conditions and you deem them not fit to import to the Gambia? And also, you mentioned that there are a list of stringent countries, countries that have stringent regulations on their medicines. Do you go to these countries, or countries that are not in this list are those that you visit? Thank you.
Okay, I think I can stand for her. In terms of registration, you have to understand that MCA, we are not operating in vacuum. The processes you undertake to register products, these are international processes. So we all follow the same processes. That's why in WAHU, we have joint reviews, because all the processes in the region are harmonized. And also at continental level, we try to harmonize all these functions, the processes, including registration. That's why they are establishing the African Medicines Agency, to make sure all processes are harmonized. Internationally, it's the same requirements. So we just follow the international standards for review that are built. There are a lot of guidelines by WHO that we go by when it comes to that one. And in terms of GMP inspection, yes. Last year, we tried to build our capacity. So we got a consultant from WHO who was here for 4 months to assist MCA to build our capacity when it comes to GMP inspection. And some of the team members also were able to get some trainings outside the country. Also, we participated in joint GMP inspections with other regulatory authorities like Ghana, NAFDAC, that have reached WHO maturity level 3. Just to say, in the whole Africa, there are 6 countries out of 55 that has reached that status. WHO maturity level 3 means the agency is functional at an optimal level as required by all standards. So it's only 6 out of 55 countries that have attained that so far. I could not recall your third question. What was it?
I wanted to know, like, the countries that you discussed, and maybe you discussed something, anything that you found
Yeah. You know, inspections, they are, again, MCA does not have its own procedures. These are international standards, procedures that we follow. So if you find a manufacturing company lacking in there are certain critical findings. If you get those ones, you just disapprove the company.
The question is, have you disapproved any company?
Yes, I'm coming on. So far, we have just started. Once we have found, we've not yet disapproved anyone. But first step is you provide your findings to them. After the GMP inspection, you send your findings, inspection reports to them. So they have to fill in a CAPA. That is corrective action and preventive action. We have a CAPA template. You send to them all the findings. They have to do the root cause analysis of that problem. So what are the corrections and corrective measures they want to put in place? Then you review the CAPA. If you are not satisfied, you raise other questions again on the CAPA that they need to go through again. So if still you are not satisfied second time, then you reject the company. Some of them we are going through CAPAs with them, so they are not that very critical issues. And so far we've not visited many. I think in India, we were able to inspect 3 companies, but there are so many companies in India, and we have only one team. We were able to inspect 3 companies in Pakistan and 3 companies in China by MCA alone. So Pakistan, we did it together with WHO consultant when we went to Pakistan. That one, at least to learn from the consultant also some good practices.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much, sir. I think, I'm Yankuba Jallo, Foreign Newspaper, certainly. I think this is a very important function, and we should not be rushed or asked to ask 5 questions when you have over 15 media houses, certainly. I want to ask you, Dr. Marina, since you said drugs can be degraded, and so we want to know what mechanism do you have right now, currently, to protect the people consuming it? Since you only identified 2, people have fear that it could be more than that. And then you told us that you cannot cover everywhere. So you just want to know exactly. And another question is, other than the Chinese system, that the Chinese company where you do the testing, you told us that companies have to test there and come here and get approval. Others that come here without approval will have to send. Without that regime, do you have any other means of testing? And how far with the lab?
Okay, the last question about the testing. Yes, there are 2 means of testing. You either do the pre-shipment testing before the products are sent to your country, and the post-shipment in case of products that have not gone through that pre-shipment. So these are the 2 testings you can do. Gambia, we don't have a lab that could do these confirmatory testings. We all know the lab is under construction. But this lab is not lab for MCA. This is Minister of Health. By law is another institution. So I think the updates, Minister of Health would be the right institution to give the update on the lab, because it's not under us. We also pass there as you pass there. So if we are lucky, if there is a function, we are invited there. So I think they are the right body to give update on the lab. Your first question was regarding? Okay. Yes, so as you know, food, just like any other product that could go bad, these manufacturers have established temperatures and humidity conditions under which these products must be kept, so that they could go through the entire shelf life up to the expiry date. They will remain to be what? Effective for use. The moment you cannot maintain that, there is likelihood that the products would go bad. And it's the responsibility of every practitioner to make sure that the products within your facility, public sector, private sector, when they go bad, you should remove them and report to MCA, so that if you want to destroy them also for disposal, you have to report to MCA. When I was at EFSTH as the chief pharmacist by then there was no MCA. Yeah, we used to have products that go bad, but we make sure that constantly we check the stores. When we have such things, we document and send the products back to the central medical stores. They gather them, and later on they do the disposal exercise. So these things can happen. You need to maintain the temperature. You need to maintain the humidity, which we all know is a challenge for most of the businesses at the moment. Thank you.
Thank you so much. My name is Edward Francis Dahlia from Ascambi Media. Yeah, I want to know if MCA is aware of the operation of a company named Total Success World. Total Success World. They are employing Gambians, and these Gambians are going in houses, selling medicine, and perceiving themselves as medical professionals. So I want to know if MCA is aware of this.
The Director of Operations, are we aware?
Thank you very much. Maybe before I come to your question, I might try to throw light to Mr. Jallo, who talked about the testing and the degradation of product. Just quickly, the MCA, as Marina clearly stated, the lab is ongoing, but MCA is having a mini lab, which is doing first level and second level testings to screen the product to know, to give you an idea whether the product is genuine or substandard. If the product is substandard, then we send it to a fully fledged lab for confirmatory by using the compendial. As we speak now, we collected samples of medicine that are brought into the country by Global Fund that we are screening. And so far, that mini lab have 100% accuracy. All the products that fail the screening in our mini lab, wherever we send it, they fail. Just to make that one clear first. And to add on to the degradation that you talk about, two things involved in the degradation of product. Either the product-related factors or environmental-related factor. Marina already hammered on the environmental-related factor, which bring on the humidity, light, temperature, moisture. Some products are stable, but the moment you expose them to direct sunlight, they will hydrolyze. Some of them, the cis forms are the potent one. For an example, diethyl stilbestrol, which is used for prostate cancer. The cis form is the potent one, but the moment you expose it to direct sunlight, it will hydrolyze. That cis form will be converted to what? Transform, which is about 1/7 the potency of the cis form, which is about 14.something%. And if the product is manufactured as per the British Pharmacopoeia, the acceptable criteria limit ranges from 95 to 105. So the moment it is 14, of course, the product will fail. So for the degradation, yes. That's why I told you earlier on, if Medicine Control Agency want to go fast, we will work alone. But if we really want to achieve the mission and the vision by safeguarding the general public, we need to collaborate with partners. And for MCA, everyone is our partner. That's why we have this toll-free number. If anyone come across anyone selling medicines, as we all know, medicine is not any ordinary commerce of good that people can sell. Accelerated studies have been done. Long-term stability data also have been done to ensure that the product is stable. For the product related, which one? The total success wall. That one, they haven't come to my decks yet, but there are other people that we already apprehended and we already opened a case file for prosecution. So we'll be glad if you could kindly blow the whistle, contact the agency, tell us where they are, and if they come, kindly contact us. We have our inspectors everywhere. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. So I'm Asanba for Royal Newspaper. I want you to know if there are any trademarks to identify banned drugs that are banned.
Good morning. This is Mo Lamin Choi from the Gambia Radio and Television Services. I observe it appears the concentration is on pharmaceutical products. But how about also cosmetics in terms of their testing and regulation in the country? Recently, we saw an update from the MCA regarding Dove soap, a particular batch. We want to understand what has the investigations revealed. Has it been imported? Is it in circulation? And what are the measures the MCA is taking? Thank you very much.
You spoke about the trademarks on medicines. Actually, for us, we have a labeling requirement. The law prescribes what features are supposed to be on a medicine, and we have got a guideline, all the features that's supposed to be on a medicine. In addition to that, you can add any feature you wish. So companies may put their logos. That is not compulsory by us, but the name and address of the manufacturer have to be on the product. So but basically most important in the name of the product have to be there, the manufacturer's name and address, the bag number is very important because one bag may have issue, but the other badges may be okay. So the product must have bag numbers. That's very key. In terms of recall, you depend on the bag number, the expiry date, the manufacturing date, and the name of the product, together with the manufacturer. So the other one's choice spoke about cosmetics. Yes, this is our mandate. We try to make sure we expand on all our mandates, but it's a challenge in terms of human resources. So we employ a risk-based approach. We look at which products are the most risky products based on the competence we have, based on the staff strength we have. So medicines is no-go area. All medicines are strictly controlled. We have started, you've seen the press releases, even before that one, warning people importing cosmetic products should come and regularize, should register their products. And we have started seeing people coming to register. And some of the products, before they come into the country, we have started testing some. Cosmetics coming from India, China, Pakistan, Ghana, all these products are being tested before they come into the country. So, but we know there are others from Europe and others that are not tested, and there are many other people who have not regularized. But the message to the general public is they should come and regularize before MCA would get to their shops or to their businesses. And for us, when we get to your shop or business, there are only two ways. either prosecution or administrative fine if you are a first-time offender, or depending on the gravity of the contravention of the law. So we can either go to court or give you admin fine. These admin fines have been prescribed, gazetted. People can have access to them. So MCA, we don't compromise. Those are the only two ways. We don't believe in forgiving anyone. The moment you break the law, those are the only two options for you. Thank you. No, so far, that particular batch, we have not come across any. Our inspectors have actively going to supermarkets, other shops. We have seen other batches, but this one, no. Because this batch, in fact, was mainly imported to Nigeria. So, but we know people go to Nigeria, people bring goods from everywhere. So that's why the alert went out, and we are also looking for it. But so far, we've not come across any bar so far.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. That was an elaborate masterclass on MCA's mandate history. And looking at it, the act already, you have an elaborate mandate. And I was thinking that you need an army of staff, inspectors, technicians in the field, because you touch on every aspect of our civilization here as a nation. Thank you so much. And you said an important example that people should go and register now. They know ignorance is juris non excusat, as we are told in Latin. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. Now people are aware that they need to register to be able to trade in the medicinal field. Thank you so much, and we'd like to move on to our brothers and sisters from the Tourism Board. Apologies, it's taking time. I see some of your colleagues sweating. That's why I was worried that they need to. And then on the roll call, we have the Director General of Gambia Tourism Board, Mr. Abubakar S. Kamara, OIC Marketing, Fode Ba, HOD Finance, George Innis, HOD Product Development, Investment and Culture, Sang Silva, HOD Quality Control, Licensing and Enforcement, Famara Sanyang, and Packaging Development Manager, Musa Dem. Welcome, gentlemen, to this press conference. So I would like to invite Director General Kamara to update us on its activities.
Thank you. I think it's just impressive to first of all have a medical control agency to come before us, because you have to have a good health to be able to conduct or to go on tourism. So it's a blessing in disguise. Honorable Minister of Information, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Information, my friend Aisha, Director of Information, invited guests, the media, TV, print, electronic, and online, colleagues from the Gambia Tourism Board, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols duly and respectfully observed. Please allow me to first of all say a big good morning to you all, and on behalf of the management and staff of the Gambia Tourism Board, I feel immense pleasure for the invitation accorded to the Gambia Tourism Board to the press conference ably organized by the Ministry of Information, so that Gambians and non-Gambians alike are abreast of activities of government ministries and departments, so that they will know what is government doing in terms of government policies and strategies, all geared towards the development of our beloved country, called the Gambia, commonly known as the Smiling Coast. The Gambia Tourism Board is created by an Act of Parliament under Section 4 of the Gambia Tourism Board Act to promote Gambia as a leading tourist destination in the world. As you all may know, tourism is a major contributor to the economy in terms of GDP, employment, and you name it. The tourism sector has experienced several shocks in the past 10 years. I'm sure all of you might have been aware of the Ebola, and also after the Ebola, we had what is called the collapse of the Thomas Cook, and then after that we have also the impasse the political impasse, as well as also COVID-19. This has actually put us down. And I can tell you that as far as statistics are concerned, in 2021, numbers went down for about 41%. Despite these setbacks, the Gambia tourism industry is now on the path of recovery, supported by stable political conditions and increased tourist arrivals. Government investments in infrastructure, we already seeing the good routes that we have in terms of the Battle Harden, I can name the Battle Harden Highway and all the other roads that have been built in the urban areas and also in the rural areas. These are all catalysts to help us promote Destination Gambia. When you talk about the data on arrivals, especially the air passenger arrivals, this data is usually gathered by the Gambia Tourism Board in collaboration with Gambia Bureau of Statistics, Gambia Immigration Department, Gambia Civil Aviation Authority, Gambia International Airline, and the GI relies on the road seat manifests from airlines for their data. Land and sea arrivals are managed by Immigration Department through various border posts. Tourists coming to Destination Gambia are classified either from traditional or non-traditional markets. The traditional markets are those countries where the Gambia attracts a huge number of tourists. Example, Britain, Sweden, Denmark, Finland, Norway, Germany, Belgium, the Netherlands, and Spain. The non-traditional markets refer to countries that Gambia is trying to attract more tourists. These markets offer the potentials to boost tourism arrivals in the country, and if successful, could eventually become traditional markets. Non-traditional markets at the moment are referred as France, America, Austria, Czech Republic, Poland, Ireland, Nigeria, Italy, China, Russia, Saudi Arabia, Senegal. The rest of Africa, the Gambia, individuals of other nationalities, and those within the Gambia for holidays are all included in the arrivals as per the UN tourism recommendation. The Gambia is often associated with the winter and green season. The Honorable Minister has just mentioned. The peak season known as winter runs from November to April and attracts the largest influx of tourists. On the other hand, the green season may be from May to October and is considered a low period for the tourist arrivals. Though the Gambia Tourism Board continues to work diligently to alter visitors' perception of Destination Gambia, promoting it as an all-year-round tourism destination rather than just a winter sun destination. Recently, you may probably been seeing Gambia Tourism Board efforts to promote local or domestic tourism by involving Gambian influencers, some of them are even here, and bloggers, online TVs and networks to showcase our products and the beauty of Destination Gambia during the green season. The same applies for our regional markets such as Senegal, Nigeria, and Ghana. Awareness creation and sensitization campaigns on tourism products and services. We do this using the TVs in this country, weekly radio talk shows on West Coast Radio, airport product and service awareness campaign with comfort services at the airport. If you go to the airport now, you see some screens showing what Gambia has to offer as a destination. And also supply and distribution of promotional material to all Gambian embassies abroad in collaboration with Foreign Affairs Ministry. Tourism and travel fairs, and targeted missions. We consider attendance of tourism and travel fairs as major platforms to promote the Gambia. They are venues for B2Bs and B2Cs meetings with tour operators, airlines, travel agencies, PR and marketing firms, etc. We realized that we may not be able to attend all the travel and tourism fairs worldwide, but we decided to select a few, namely the World Travel Market, WTM, in London. We also attend the ITB in Germany. We attend also BIT Milano in Italy, Topresa in France, also Portugal. We attend also FITIR in Spain, Malta in Finland, and BTL in Portugal. We cannot, at this point in time, we realize that it may be very difficult for us to promote the destination alone without the tour operators. So as a result, we do a lot of joint marketing with them by supporting them in terms of marketing, because some of them think that perhaps in order for us to be more competitive, we need to market more. And it may be difficult for us to market the country more than they do. So we allow them to also participate in the marketing. And we've been doing joint marketing with Gambia Experience. We've been doing joint marketing with TUI UK, TUI Belgium, TUI Holland, Corendon Rainbow Tours. We also invite journalists or tour operators, airlines on farm trips, familiarization tour, so that they will come and see the beauty of this country. Notably this year, we've just conducted few farm trips, which include Spain, journalists from Spain, UK, Belgium, Portugal, and some of those ones are Albreo, Solferos, Travel World, Kiddies Travel, and Christas, etc. Consolidate and improve e-marketing platform. We use various online marketing campaigns to undertake our marketing, and these are really yielding some dividend. Notably on some of these online platforms that we use is our website, Facebook pages, both the main pages and also pages of our destination managers. We have destination managers in some selected regions. We have in UK, which is the destination manager in UK is also responsible for the Central and Eastern European countries. We have also another destination manager in Spain who is also responsible for Spain and also the Southern European countries. We have another destination manager who is responsible for the Nordics countries. We have another one who is responsible for Nigeria, Ghana, and Benin. So they also have their own Facebook pages, and as we speak, they're trying to translate their Facebook pages into the languages of their destinations. We use also online newsletters, Twitter, etc. These are all very critical in generating very fruitful results and attracting the attention of visitors and potential visitors alike to the destination. Local social media influencers. As part of the policy direction in promoting regional and domestic tourism, we have been engaging the services of local and regional influencers to promote domestic products and services that the country has to offer. As mentioned earlier, this is more so important in bridging the gap between the winter and the green seasons. Now, as we are all gearing up, because I'm sure that's what the Honorable Minister may be looking for, because I remember very well around August, he called me and said, DG, when is the season starting? I said, Honorable, I'm going to invite you to our press conference. I said, Honorable, I think we are making a mistake. The season is starting around October or November. Maybe you can wait until such time. So now, Honorable Minister, we're here, and thank you for having us in mind. So as we gear us to this season, and as usual, we expect every Gambian to support us in extending hospitality and the peace that we are known for to our guests. Because if we don't do that, it will be difficult for us to market our destination. All we expect is the tourists to come and have a good first impression and a last impression as they leave the country. And it is important also to mention that as we are starting the season, we are hoping that we are going to have 24 chartered flights per week and 33 scheduled flights per week. And in total, we have 57 flights per week. The reason why we always include scheduled flights, because most tourists now use scheduled flights for obvious reasons. So, and if you look at the schedule, you realize that, in fact, the frequency of the scheduled flights are more during the high season. So that means that they have the demand for them to use more frequency for their guests. As far as these frequencies are concerned, we're going to have 3 flights from Corendon per week. Corendon is a tour operator from Holland. We are going to have 4 flights per week from TUI UK, and a tour operator from UK. We are going to have 3 flights per week from Gambia Experience, which is a maiden name in this country. It's from UK as well. TUI Holland, 3 flights per week. TUI Belgium, we're going to have 2 flights per week. TAP Portugal, we're going to have 3 flights per week. Rainbow Tours, we have 2 flights per week. Voilin, we are going to have 3 flights per week. Apollo, for the first time, I know that a lot of people have been asking us about the Scandinavian market, and we've been struggling to bring them back after COVID-19. However, this time around, we were lucky to be able to convince one of the tour operators, which is Apollo, and they are going to start operations come November 5th, which is a plus. At least that will kickstart the need to regain our Scandinavian market. We used to be a pioneer tourist market, source market. For the scheduled flights, we are expecting to have Air Peace 3 flights, Air Sky 7 flights per week, Air Senegal's 8 times per week, Royal Air Morocco 7 times per week, Turkish Airlines 3 times per week, Brussels Airlines 5 times per week. So usually before the start of the season, we have a number of flights that are coming, and we invite the journalists and anyone who is interested in the welcome to go with us to welcome the flights. Traditionally, we used to have the Scandinavian flight as our first flight and the start of the season. But nowadays, we use the UK flight as the start of the season, given that as far as the statistics are concerned, we have more numbers from UK than any other country. So as a result now, on the 11th of this month, we are going to receive our first batch of UK tourists. And then on the 7th, on the 14th and 17th October, we will receive our TUI flights from Holland. On the 26th of October, we will receive our TUI Belgium with the capacity, I forgot to mention about the capacities, with the capacity of 185. For the TUI groups, all of them, the capacity is 185. And for TAP Portugal, the capacity is 165. And Rainbow Tours, the capacity is 210. TUI UK, 185 packs. Corendon is 212 packs. This time around also, I know that if we've been very vigilant, we realized that we've been trying our best to also regain our German market since the departure of the FTI. Thank God this time around, we were able to convince TUI to also take tourists from Germany. And as a result, from the discussion that we had with them, they will be bringing 1,000 packs for the season. And they are going to use a third party, which is the Turkish Airlines or other airlines to bring all these tourists. And also for the first time, we were able to discuss with our partners, and we were able to attract a tour operator called Novatos. And they are going to bring tourists from Estonia, Lithuania, and Latvia. And their first flight is coming on the 1st of November. And they are also going to bring about 600 tourists from that region. And this is how a lot of tour operators start. They will come small, and if they are happy, they will even now hire or charter flights, and they will come on their own and not come on scheduled flights. So we appealed to everybody in the Gambia to support us in making sure that these tourists come and have a very good holiday. I think, Honorable Minister, because of time, I think I want to stop here, and I want to thank all of you for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Welcome. Director General Kamara, for that impressive update on the preparation for the new tourist season and the journey so far. The floor is open for questions. Again, any media organization?
Good morning or good afternoon? Still morning, right? Yes, I wanted to ask this question. I haven't had data regarding tourist arrivals. The number of tourists we expect this year compared to the previous years, whether we're expecting an increase or a decrease? Thank you.
Well, let me just say that given the recovery focus NDP, which has stated that we have to reach a target of 500 arrivals by the end of the NDP, we decided to do a formula, 500 tourists, 500,000, sorry. Oh, I got honorable, sorry. It's a mistake. 500,000. My people will beat me up if I leave this place. So we have done a calculation and we had a formula that every year, in order to reach that target, we should be able to increase the arrivals by 13%. And if you do the calculation so far, we have been meeting this target. And by the end of this season, we should be able to have a good increase in number of tourists. I may not have it offhand, but I think it's about 232,000 arrivals or more for the, yes, so that is it. So we're going to have an increase in the number of arrivals from the calculations that we have and the discussion that we had with our tour operators. If everything remains equal, rest assured that we will be able to achieve a good number of increase. I know, I have no doubt about that. He was my professor. For your information, in fact, he taught me at the University of the Gambia. I used to call him professor and doctor, but here I'll call him honorable minister.
That is why I'm proud of you.
Yes,
I'll use my privilege as the chief journalist to ask two questions. One has to do with the numbers again. I think if I hear from your presentation, there was no differentiation between the Gambians that are coming and non-Gambians coming. Now, do you count in this number, this projection you made, the 232,000 that we might have this year, are Gambians returning home holidays counted in this, or is it only non-Gambians in this? Gambians in this? Cyprus, all these countries, Morocco, they are all going for the same market. What are you doing as an authority, as a destination, to strategically place yourself to ensure that you also have a competitive edge and attract these tourists so that they don't go to these countries and they can come to the Gambia? They don't go to East Africa, they come to the Gambia. They don't go to Morocco or Tunisia or Cyprus or Malta, that they come to the Gambia. What are you doing as an authority and as a destination? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. I want to start from your last question. I mean, we can always reach every level, but in the Gambia, the type of tourism that we have is a bit different from the tourism that they have. As a destination. We are a religious destination, Muslims and Christians. But if you look at other countries, yes, there are some Muslims and Christians, but for them, I think they operate all kinds of tourism. As we speak now, we are having a lot of resistance in terms of bringing all-inclusive in the Gambia. But if you look at Cape Verde and all of those destinations, they accept all-inclusive because they want to accept all kinds of tourism in their countries. We don't accept what is called sex tourism. Go to those countries, they do it. But that's why we are very cautious in terms of marketing our destination. We can reach all those levels if it was not for religious reasons. I think that is it. We are very competitive. I mean, there is nothing more than peace and hospitality, and we have it all. So we could have gotten all these interesting tourists that other countries are having. But because of the nature of our country, we are very responsible and we want to promote responsible tourism. And that is why perhaps it will be difficult for us to be aligned with those people. Regarding the non-Gambians, as I said earlier, the UNWTO, which is an umbrella body that governs all tourism, any country that are members, they include nationals of those countries that are traveling back as part of the data. Although there will be a separate data that will say these are Gambians, but they can also be categorized as tourists. Thank you.
Thank you. Just a technical questions in national languages are allowed. Yeah. Director, feel free to elaborate in
Can I just ask one question, please?
Sure.
My name is Ramatullah Jallo. I'm working for the Gambia Radio and Television Services. Sir, thank you for coming, and we should applaud our minister for creating the environment for us.
Sure.
Thank you, sir. Coming to tourism, we have problems being creative because we don't have many sites. It's only a few sites we have. What are you going to do about that to attract more?
You know, the interesting thing about tourism is a very cross-cutting thing. The thing is, there are things that are not within our control. They are under other departments. That is why tourism is everybody's business. And that is why we always try to seek partnership with other institutions that have a mandate in terms of certain products, certain assets that can be potential products. Many times people will misconstrue a product and an asset. They are different. Yes, you can say Kiang West National Park is a tourism product. It is not a product for now. It is an asset. You have to do certain things to be able to transform it into a product. You can talk about James Island as a product, but at times, as somebody who studied tourism, I tend to differ in the sense that you need to transform those assets into products. We have over 182 cultural and historic sites countrywide. We have a good number of parks and forests that we can transform as tourism products. But we will seek the support of other institutions to help us transform those assets to products. We will be more than happy to work with the Department of Parks and Wildlife. We're more than happy to work with the community, the village elders, to transform some of their assets. We have very good assets, and both tangible and intangible, that can be used for tourism.
You know, yeah, just 1 second, please. I have been to other countries, and I have seen during their low season, they have national tourism. Can you put that into perspective? Because we definitely need that. I might be tired, and I have a leave during low season time, and I want to go somewhere with my family and be quiet and enjoy the environment. Do you have that in your books to excel?
You are asking a question that I love most. I believe that Gambians can be tourists in their own countries. And I can tell you, during the COVID-19, countries that were able to recover quickly were those countries that were promoting domestic and regional tourism. And that is why you saw in my presentation that we try to do within our own means to promote Destination Gambia using our own people, influencers, and the local bloggers, etc., to also help us in promoting domestic tourism. There are a lot of beauty that a lot of people that live perhaps in the urban areas don't know about in the rural areas. And it will be very interesting for them to go and see for themselves. It will be a wow thing. So to tell you the truth, I wish that everybody in this country support us and promote in their own way tourism. I've always been saying that it is not difficult to promote tourism if we all speak the same language, given that most of us that travel can also go and sell the word about tourism in the Gambia. But perhaps a lot of them don't have that time to do that. But I would encourage all of you, anytime you are going out, you promote Destination Gambia. In your own offices or institutions, you can also promote domestic tourism, whereas you can even support some of your staff that want to undertake certain trips or to go on holidays, or even if they want to have what is called a honeymoon, newly married people who said, okay, this is our offer as an institution to as a surprise to you, so that you go on a 2-day honeymoon in Abscas, for instance, or any other hotel. So it's something that definitely I love. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yes, Aliu, I know you will ask a question. No doubt about that.
Thank you very much once again. My name is Aliu Sise from QTV Gambia. It's good that my colleague has touched on the issue of the domestic tourism, which I was going to ask a question on. Good. I would just like to know from you, what exactly are you doing in terms of diversification of our tourism sector? I mean, many will say we only have the beach. For example, you visit the Gambia 2 times, 3 times. Why should you come back to a country where you don't see anything new? What are you doing to diversify our tourism sector? And the other thing also has to do with the airport fees at the airport, this $20. How is it in any way affecting, the number of tourists that, will choose to visit the Gambia rather than going to Kenya or Morocco, like the Honorable Minister said? And there's a petition for the National Assembly by certain, aggrieved staff who believe, they were, sacked because of maybe their stance on certain issues within the GT board. What is your take on the recommendation of the National Assembly's Standing Committee that they should be reinstated? Have they been reinstated? If not, when? And the other thing has to do with the issue of the ecologists.
Some years ago, are you asking? I have to identify them. I thought I can remember. I hope I can remember all.
All right.
Yes. What was your first question? Well, you made me forget.
Diversification.
Yeah, I need to write then.
Yes, diversification.
Yes, I think I partly answered that question. And as I said to you, that tourism is even more interesting away from the beach area, where you have different types of assets, both in terms of culture and nature. As I said to you, we have a lot of community forest parks, we have national forest parks, and even village forest parks that can be transformed into tourism. And we are working with our colleague counterparts from the Departments of Parks and Wildlife Forestry to be able to transform some of those ones, in fact, some of them are those gazetted, into as tourism products. On the cultural assets, we have both intangible and tangible. Tangible, you have over 182, more than 182 that we can use. Some of them we are using, like the stone circles, James Island, etc. But there are more to that we can transform, the Mango Park, etc. But you need to do a lot of things to be able to transform them to become a good tourism products. NCSC is trying to do work on those things. I hope that we're able to work with them to be able to transform them. Also, in terms of intangible cultural heritage, like Rasulin Festival Organization, we have conducted training to some of these festival organizers so that they'll be able to transform those intangible services or products as tourism assets as tourism products. So we are doing a lot to be able to diversify our industry. Yes, we are known for sun, sea, and sand, but I think it is more onto sun, sea, and sand. And in fact, the beauty lie there. You look at the river Gambia. I'm telling you, it's one of the nicest rivers that is very navigable and divides the country into two halves. As you move from one region, you realize that the region that you move to is different from the one that you just passed. And as you go along the river Gambia, you are likely to see different species of birds. And the most interesting thing is the river Gambia, part of the river Gambia is salty and the other part is fresh water. And you are able to also swim, I can say, with dolphins. You know dolphins? And also hippos. You will be able to see hippos. These are interesting things that we don't know. Apart from that also, they can provide transportation from one place to another. The other question is about the airport tax. Yeah. Yes, airport tax, yes, a lot of people are really concerned about it, but I think it's a government policy that since we are a public institution, I don't think I'll be able to comment much on that. But I know that some of our talkers do complain about it, but we are telling them that it's a government policy, and I think the best that we can do is to be able to reduce the queuing at the airport. And as we speak, even at the level of the executive, are very concerned about the congestion and the queuing that the airport tax is creating. However, this recently, most likely that starting from this season, we will have a reduced queuing at the airport. But to tell the truth, it's a government policy, and I will not be able to dilate much on it because the duty board is an agency under the government, and since it's a government policy, of course, we have to place suit. The petition, yes. Yes, I've been hearing from the grapevine that there's a petition and it was been already, there are solutions, but as far as I'm concerned, we have not received any communication about that. So I will not be able to comment on that too. Thank you.
Yes, finally, I just have one more thing. I mean, the issue of the ecologists. What happened?
Yes, the ecologists, yes, unfortunately, is another project that we have inherited as an institution. But the duty board and leadership is a continuation. We have faced so many hurdles. And then especially, I realize that dealing with government contractors is usually a nightmare. It's hard to say. And definitely I would have loved to patronize our Gambians, but to tell you the truth, some of them are not delivering. This one is an example of that one. And as we speak now, we are doing a strategy to be able to complete it. There's a strategy that the ministry is improvising so that we're able to complete these ecologies.
Are you entitled to any payment of contractors?
Well, as far as I know, I think the delay is on the contractor, as far as I know. As far as the document that I inherited as a DG, there are time frames when this contract should finish. And I understand from the documents that he was to pre-finance up to the completion. So he could not complete in time. although he has been given a lot of excuses, but that is the truth. That's the truth. He has signed a contract, and by that contract, he should have completed at a certain period, which he has not done. Yes.
Okay, good afternoon. I am Binta Esba from Musa Molo's online platform. The question I want to ask might be funny though. The Ministry of Tourism... Don't ask about Musa Molo Tomb though. I will not ask. Yeah. The Ministry of Tourism and Culture, the Gambia National Center for Arts and Culture, Gambia Tourism Board, hold a dialogue with the stakeholders. I think, if I don't forget, that was on Tuesday, 27th August, and on 28th August, 2024.
Very well.
I hope you guys have a discussion about the health issue of the tourism to enter the country. Those with the transmitted disease, as how the medical control agency are scrutinizing about the medicine entering here. I think it's also important to check their health diagnosis before coming into the country, because I have heard someone say Gambia is a sex paradise, because most of the tourists that are coming into the country here are transmitting the young girls, the teenagers of their disease. So I think, as you are in the tourism board, you make us scrutinize about that.
I hope you have gotten any proof that these tourists have actually infected some of the Gambians. But I can tell you for a fact, tourism is everybody's business. We have the Ministry of Health who are also at the airport, and there are regulations as far as we are concerned for tourists that are entering the country. So that is under control. That issue is under control. And the issue of sex tourism, we've never seen in our platform promoting sex tourism. You will never see it. Yeah. No, I said that's on the Ministry of Health. They have taken care of it.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Tabora.
Thank you.
Yes.
Digi, my name is Tabora Bojang, Standard Newspaper. So you mentioned joint marketing with operators.
Right.
So, and interestingly, we know that the Scandinavian tours are coming this year, which will be welcoming to a lot of Gambians. So we understand that with your agreement with Apollo, that is coming to bring these people here, you are going to pay them.
Yes.
You are going to do a payment of about 200,000 euros to them, and also they ask for discount on some handling fees at the airport.
That's right.
So I want to know, as part of those handling fees that you're going to make discount for them, 50%. Does it include the security levy, the $20? If not, what are these charges? And the second question is, these tourists that are coming through Apollo from Scandinavia, under what package are they coming through? We know that tourists come to this country under 3 packages, like half board, full board, and all inclusive. So what package does this deal entail?
Right. Okay. I think the joint marketing agreement has stipulated all what this tour operator is supposed to do, and that is to market Destination Gambia in platform that we couldn't have done. And also, they have also went back and calculated and realized that they would need to do a lot of marketing in order to convince tourists to come to Gambia, and they're going to charter airlines to airlift their tourists. So we had discussion with the civil aviation to also give them incentives. We had discussion with GIA to also give them incentives, which they have done. And we have also given them, as part of a joint marketing, some resources so that they can better market Destination Gambia as an inducement for them to come. That is the reason. But it is up to April. As soon as April is up, if there is any need for us to stop that joint marketing agreement, we will stop it. The other question was whether they are exempted from secure report. Yes. No, it does not include the $20. No, a tourist can decide whether to go on half board or full board. So that information we will not be able to have unless we find out from the ground handler and also from the hotels. But as far as we know, we are able to convince them to come, and to come once a week every Tuesday to Destination Gambia up till April. And from April, we are going to review the agreement if they find the Gambia very nice. So that's why I said I will employ on all of you to be able to give them a good welcoming and also to give them a good impression about destination Gambia. Yes. Well, you are right. I think we will find out. But as far as we know, there was no indication that they were going to have all-inclusive. And also, as we speak now, there is already an assessment that is going on the package. At times, because of this restriction, that is why some of our competitors are surpassing us, like Cape Verde. Cape Verde accept all-inclusive. Why not Gambia? I think that is the situation that we are in today. But we are very much considerate to the needs of our informal sector. Because when you talk about all-inclusive, the only people that are scared are the informal sector businesses. We have a good informal sector, a broad-based informal sector, and so we are very careful in terms of also them having business. And all-inclusive, they think, would not give them business. Although people may have different perceptions, because you can come on all-inclusive, but at some point you don't want to stay in the hotel, you want to go out and explore. As a tourist, the tourists come to explore. But people are so fearful of all-inclusive that they make it a big issue. But then, as I said, we are doing some assessment, and the assessment will inform us as to which decision or which position government should take. Thank you.
Very much. For occupational health reason, we need to consider living here, with low ventilation, so we need to wrap up. So 3 more questions, and then another minister will
All right. Good afternoon. My name is Mahdi Basil. Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Mahdi Basila, Principal Information Officer, Department of Information Services, but also editor of Gambia Daily newspaper. The question is a simple one. I'm curious about I've come across the concept of Islamic tourism. I just want to know whether it's a thing for you, and what is it, whether you have any interest in trying to promote it. I don't know much about it, but I know it has to do with coming up with packages that cater to Muslim travelers mainly. So maybe targeting people from the Middle East or maybe majority Islamic countries. So if it is actually a thing, I know countries like Malaysia, for example, are very big on this. If I think about Islamic tourism here, I think maybe you're talking about the Islamic infrastructure, like mosques and so on. A place like Gunjur and other places. So I just want to know basically whether it's a thing for you and what do you do about it?
I think okay.
Yeah, thank you very much. I am Yankuba Jallo, foreign newspaper, sir.
Yeah, Muslim, they call it Muslim-friendly tourism.
Yeah, listening to you here, you mentioned that 2 of the reasons why our tourism is improving is the political will and also the investment in the infrastructure. So it reminds me of
you love the hospitality.
Hospitality, okay.
Yeah.
I don't capture that, sorry.
Okay.
So it reminds me of the former Minister of Tourism. He promised, that was during the last NDP. Now you're talking about a recovery in NDP. I want to know whether still that plan is there, building 10 5-star hotels in the regions. It was a promise by the former minister. And secondly, also, the historical sites that you are talking about, he said they are assets, not products. I certainly want you to elaborate on that.
Sorry, say that again?
He said they are assets.
Yes, sure.
Not products.
Yes, that's right.
So you're trying, because I believe that you anticipated that question, and
yes,
you're trying to lean backwards, because we know historical sites, whether product or assets, attract tourists. And the state they are right now in the Gambia, they are in a very bad state. So we want you to talk about that, certainly.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm Edward Francis Dahlia from Ascami Media. When we talk about tourism, it is something that we welcome so much. But going to the beach in this season is also something difficult. As a Gambian, I will want to go and relax or train around 4 or 5. I will go and a security personnel will tell me, you cannot go in because we are in tourism season. So what is the GT board doing in collaboration with those security officers to ensure Gambians like us can use the beach in this season?
Okay, I will start from him. How can we promote domestic tourism without encouraging Gambians? I think that is an answer. I have already answered your question. We would not encourage tourists and tourism security to stop Gambians that are going to enjoy the beach. They are only asked to stop undesirable elements like criminals, drug dealers that want to destroy our tourism. That is what they are told. But Gambians coming to enjoy our beaches, you've seen recently where we have used the services of your own people to go and promote the beaches to our Gambians. Why will we stop them? So rest assured that it is not going to be on our watch for any security to stop any Gambian who is going there wholeheartedly to go and enjoy himself as a tourist. I'll be happy to meet such a Gambian.
Sorry, DG.
Yes.
Families.
No. Yes.
In fact, at some point they tell that the tourists are having a dinner, you cannot get in. So,
okay.
What can we do in case you experience that? Who do you call to make a complaint?
Okay, we have a toll-free line that you can call, but again, we do have trainings with some of them. You know, I like the military that says usually among the military they have some bad cows. You have some people that have their ulterior motives and they will do things to destroy whatever. So we have them, but nobody would tell a security to stop any person who is genuinely going to enjoy himself. No, not at all. A similar question. No? You want to test it now? Farmer, give them the toll-free now. 10:30. Yes. The other question about our former minister talking about building 10 5-star hotels. It's possible if you have the investment. What is stopping you from coming to invest at 5-star hotel or trying to get investors to come and build 5-star hotels? It's possible. We can have them. And in fact, the policy direction is for us to promote more of 4 5-star hotels, ecotourism. So it is true that we encourage people to come and build. That was his wish for this country, which is a good one, and we should welcome it wholeheartedly. And rest assured also, we are also doing our best to make sure that we have that, to make that possible. Thank you. And the other one is about the Islamic tourism. We call it Muslim-friendly tourism. It's a product that we are looking at, but as I said to you, the best person to sell a product is the product itself. We cannot market a product that is not ready. So we are working hard with our partners, especially the ComSec project, that is a Turkish-led organization that is supporting the world on tourism, Muslim-friendly tourism. So at the moment, as you said, you already named the Gunjur Mosque, but there are many other strategies that we are using. Recently, we went to Nigeria, and where you have the Kano, we have a lot of people that go to Kaulak, etc., and we want them to use Gambia and access Kaulak. And in the Gambia, they can also visit Gunjur and so many other Muslim-friendly facilities that are in the country. So that is something that we will definitely like. There is a question also on, he had me talk about assets. Yes, there is a difference between an asset and a product. I can tell you, even a graveyard can be a tourism product, but you need to put the facilities there. Facilities to make it easy for a tourist to go there without any problem. Facilities for a tourist to go when he's hungry, he's able to eat. Facilities for a tourist who wants to ease himself can have a toilet where he can ease himself. Facilities where you can have entertainment. Do you understand? Depending on the type of product, because you have also sustainable-based products like ecotourism products. So these are all things that you bear in mind if you want to transform an asset into a product. If it's going to be a sustainable or an ecotourism product, there are things that you will not put there. If it is like Kia West National Park, all we need is a small trail where you will not destroy the vegetation, you will not scare away the animals, and you can pass easily, quietly. These are things that we do as tourism experts to be able to transform assets into products. Like cultural assets, you have to make it you have to, it has to, what we call, it has to be more experience-based. That when you go, you should be able to experience yourself. It has to also tell a story. Do you understand? Because when you go to a cultural asset, there is a reason why it's called a cultural product. It has a story. If you visit some of our assets that are cultural or parks that are assets in nature, you go to the board, you see the writing there. Maybe it will be different from me, who is a tourist who wants to visit the place, because there, all I need is some small information. But others that are assets, a big write-up, as if it is a professor like this one making research. The tourists don't want to have that time to go and read all those. Just give the brief information. That's what I'm trying to explain in brief. But you come to my office, I can give you some lectures on that. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, DG. Before handing over to the Honorable Minister, I just want to emphasize, at least one of the benefits of COVID-19 is the evolution of, toll-free numbers from 1025 that we used to. Now all institutions are using it as a way of, being accessible to the public. Again, I repeat, for GT board, their toll-free number is 1030. For Medicines Control Agency, again, I repeat, Medicines Control Agency, not medical or medicine. Medicines Control Agency, their toll-free number is 1233. You mention a case, you can report that and they can look into it. Thank you all for coming. Again, apologies, for the AC and you've been brave enough. It shows how patriotic and then how you love this country in spite of the hardship. We apologize. Hopefully by next press conference, the matter will be fixed. Honorable Minister, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, for once again chairing the press conference in a well-ordered manner. We thank you always for your service. Whenever we call you, you will be here on time and doing it perfectly. Thank you very much. First to MCA, under the leadership of Dr. Marina. I think what you've really shown here to the Gambian people is that you are doing your job in a well-professional manner, and that we appreciate and applaud your hard work, you and your entire team. The same also goes to the Gambia Tourism Board under the leadership of DG Kamara, also you and your entire team. I think, again, you've also shown Gambians that you are not there sleeping and that you are there working, based on what we've had here today. And I think Gambians all over that have been watching this and that will watch it later will be very appreciative and proud of your hard work. And all we can say is that keep up the good work. The government is here to give you all the support that you need to ensure that you promote and transform our tourism industry, because we know it is one of the mainstays of our economy. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen of the press. I think I'll be very proud to say, and I can say this confidently, that this is the most media-friendly government in the history of the Gambia. I have the authority to say so, and I don't think anybody will disagree with me, that since independence, we have not got a government that is so friendly to the media than this government. We appreciate your collaboration. Like we said, our mandate is to bring information to the public, to promote accountability and transparency. I think we cannot do it alone. Therefore, you are the main conduit. You are critical stakeholders of the government to the Ministry of Information, obviously. In fact, let me just break some news here. I'm not sure whether the PS will allow me to do it. I might be breaking protocol, but PS, I will do it because I cannot wait. We are changing the name of the Ministry of Information. We've got approval. It's been gazetted, but PS, I know we can discuss that office, but I'll say it here. It's going to be called the Ministry of Information, Media and Broadcasting Services. Going forward, once the gazetting is done, we'll go public with it. In fact, I've gone public with it now, so you know. Ministry of Information, Media and Broadcasting Services, because we, so that people know exactly what our mandate is. Our mandate is to bring information to the public through the media and to other broadcasting services. So we appreciate your work, the media houses, all the journalists. Every day I tend to see a new media house, Musa Molo, Askanwi, Musa Molo. I think it's good. I think we'll have to have another. The ministry will plan a retreat. I've discussed with the PS, a retreat to all the media houses somewhere in a nice place to promote also domestic tourism. There are many beautiful places out there for domestic tourism. There was this place I was taking to for a retreat in Fonyi, Abscas. Beautiful, beautiful. And even this beach, we don't make use of our beach here. It's very serene, one of the most beautiful beaches in the world, but we don't use it. It's so close to us that we don't even see it. So please know where the sites are that promote local tourism and make best use of it so that we promote internal tourism, because that money stays here as well. So thank you very much once again for this well-organized press conference. I'd like to extend a special thanks to Mr. Tunkara and his team for coordinating and organizing the press conference, to all the media houses, to our information officers. They don't want me to say their names, so I wouldn't say their names. Under the leadership of the Director of Information Services, Ms. Aisha. Thank you very much, Aisha Davis, the PS, and everyone. Thank you very much. Until next month. And don't forget, there's Mansakunda this week. We invite the public and all the media houses. We'll be hosting the Honorable Minister of Youth and Sports, Honorable Bakari Baji, to tell Gambians what the sector is doing to promote sports and youth development in this country. So I hope to see you on Friday at 8 p.m. here in the same venue, but at the bigger hall, to discuss with Honorable Bakari Baji what his sector or his ministry is doing for promoting sports and also youth development in this country. Thank you. Until we meet again next month, thank you very much.